Today I'm going to review the Dark Pictures anthology's Little Hope. So I have loved the Dark Pictures and Supermassive games all the way back from Until Dawn, Man of Medan, which you can see in my playlist below that I play with my friend Cody, and now Little Hope. And I plan on playing House of Ashes and The Devil in Me the next 2 weekends of spooky season here in October. So Little Hope's main character, William Poulter, is just absolutely fantastic. I loved what he brought to the game. I think playing as his character was really refreshing because it wasn't like he had a really big side to take in the entire series. It was kind of like you could build up relationships with everybody, and by the end of my playthrough, I had good relationships with everyone, which was awesome. Even though technically I got the worst ending of the game, which ends up being the bus driver getting put into a cop car and getting taken away. Because the Tanya's at the beginning when the house was on fire, I told Tanya to actually take the gutter and jump down, and she ends up hanging herself instead of going in the window where she would have just died in the fire. But her boyfriend at the time was the gentleman in the bar, and he's the one that calls the cops on us. So, you know, the narrative of the game, I gave an 8 out of 10. I thought the narrative was really good. The very beginning with the house being on fire was crazy, and then it really slows down, and I think it slows down for a little too long. That's why I kind of deducted some points there. It's really like the first hour is insane, the last hour is insane, and then those 2 hours in the middle were just very slow, and you don't really start to put it together that each one of the demons trying to, kill you is basically the way that his family members died. Or at least I didn't put it together until you start to see them. And because, all you saw was the top of the fence, and then you saw the chain, and stuff like that. And then, of course, going through the little girl's story, like, I knew it was the priest the whole time. That was going to be terrible. Like, of course, it's always the priest. So, I gave the narrative an 8 out of 10. As far as gameplay is concerned, I gave it a 6 out of 10. It did feel like a little bit wonky at times to like walk around, and there's times where I tried to walk through a doorway and be like walking through the wall, and that's kind of how these games are. Like, that's not the whole point of the game. The whole point is the decision-based flowchart of your decisions have weight, and they really need to make sense in order to continue the game. But overall, the gameplay I feel like could have improved, and I don't really like using the joysticks to make the decisions. I feel like you should just, it should be an X or Y or A and B, or who knows. I was playing with controllers, so maybe on keyboard mouse it's different. Market, I gave a 10 out of 10. I feel like it really lived up to the expectations. It was a great addition from Man of Medan, and of course Until Dawn always set the stage for like this type of game being as amazing as it was. But I still feel like the Dark Pictures anthology did an excellent job at keeping up the hype of these games and continuing along their high standard that they put for themselves, because they're really one of the only names in this genre. I absolutely love it. I'm here for it. The whole 9 yards. Graphics, I gave a 7 out of 10. I don't feel like the graphics really improved from Man of Medan, or didn't really improve that much. It's the same art style, which is fine. And it definitely, like, some of the smoke effects improved a little bit, and the water effects were okay. But I think with what we expect nowadays with like Unreal Engine 5 and stuff like that, it just could have been a little bit better. Technical, I gave a 9 out of 10. I deducted 1 point because I swear to God, I saved the old lady from the river witch monster. And I didn't, because apparently I didn't click the button fast enough. Now, maybe that's on me, maybe not, but I swear to God, I clicked it fast enough. Value, I gave a 4 out of 10. I feel like I got all these games on a Steam sale, like a big bundle Steam sale. So usually the entire first series, so Man of Medan, Little Hope, House of Ashes, Devil and Me, is $110 for 4 basically one-time off games. Like, you're only going to play them once, or at least I'm only going to play them once. Because you can go on YouTube and be like, all right, what were the other 5 endings that I could have gone? I'm not playing another 4 hours through the game, making one different change to see if I get a different ending. Because the story is basically the same, for most of it anyways. So I think And nowadays it's $20 for Little Hope. So if you break that down, that's about $5 an hour that I would have, is what it comes down to. I still think $20 for a one-time off game is a little expensive, especially since it's only a 4-hour playthrough. But if you look at it like, hey, if I was going to the movies, a movie ticket is at least $20 now, and a movie's about 2 hours, so $10 an hour for that level of entertainment. So in that sense, the value of the game is okay, which is why I didn't rate it lower. But the Devil in Me is $40, and that is going to be a 4-hour game as well, which is at least $10 an hour. So I feel like these games, they should be, if it was $15, I would have, that extra $5 to bump it up to 20. That's kind of like my threshold for a one-time off game like this. That's pretty short. And I don't think the game should have been longer by any means. I just think that overall, it could have been a little bit lower in price. The audio, I gave a 6 out of 10. The footsteps, man. I said this like 8 times through my playthrough. I'm like, why the fuck are the footsteps so goddamn loud? Like it was so unnecessary. The jump scares, and that super loud, like in your ears kind of sound, 100% necessary. You need that to get that jump factor. The footsteps, you don't need them to sound like elephants are coming down the street, man. Like, you don't. So overall, I gave the game a 6.9 out of 10. Nice. I would still definitely, I love the game. I love the series. I just think that there are some things that I would have, or that could have been improved. But overall, I'm really looking forward to House of Ashes and The Devil in Me. So I will be having those on my channel here shortly in the next coming weeks. I'll be filming each one of those on the last 2 Sundays in October, and then editing and probably putting them out. So if you're interested in seeing those series, please click the links below that will pop up once those are done. If you want to watch my playthrough of Little Hope, please click on that, or my playthrough of Man of Medan with my friend Cody. A lot of good jump scares in that one. I'll see you there.